How's it going, everybody? We are going to be revisiting the negative zone guide idea here because I heard a lot of your feedback last time about my team being too big. And so I wanted to redo this video with a much smaller team, but I also want to have realistic expectations on what this video is, what the event is, and the whole sort of goal we need to have for an event like this. Make no mistake, this event is for level 105 players. It's for level 105 players that level up the newest team. You can do this free to play. I'm going to do a little bit of a TED talk here in a little bit on how to keep up with leveling your characters. This event, we want to one-shot every single node, losing 0 characters, because we need to run this 14 times. We only got 250 heals. Who knows if they're going to give us more. We would not be able to sustain healing this and running it on cooldown if we don't one-shot every single node every single time. This is the team that I used to do that. It took me 2 hours. It could have taken me 45 minutes if I knew what I know now about nodes 2 and nodes 3. This is for the Odin leaderboard. There is at least one gear tier 20 piece every single time you beat this event, because it's going to give you 1 orb and there's at least 1 gear 20 piece in there. This is something you would need to decide if it's worth your time. This is an event type that a lot of people have been asking for. This is a way that, as an engaged player who keeps up with characters, you can grind your way into some really good rewards. Take that for what it is, okay? I know I just aggravated half of you already, so let's do it some more by talking about the team we're going to use here. This team was 100% free-to-play earned. We have 5 stars on Daredevil Modern. He had 2 fully release events, as well as a pass, as well as he's been in those pity wars for a long time, as well as he is in the Alliance event rewards. Silver Sable's at 4 red stars. Again, fully free to play. She had 2 releases where you could earn 100 shards every single time. Hidden Monkey is at 4 red stars. I actually think this person probably cored to unlock Hidden Monkey, and then he had the free to play release, which also gave 100 shards. All these characters are level 105 with the exception of Electra. We left her at level 100. I didn't want to have to waste resources on that. They're all gear tier 19 with the exception of Silver Sable. She's gear tier 20. She should definitely be your first gear tier 20 skill character, as she is 100% mandatory for the Professor X unlock event. As far as T4s go here, Silver Sable, Punisher, and Daredevil have their special ultimate passives done. No basics. Electra has 0 T4s done. Hidden Monkey has his ultimate and his passive done. Basically, as long as you have the raid required T4s, you can get through this event. ISOs are the most important thing for your team here. I really found that Raider was the best for Punisher. Striker could work, but then you got to be careful that you're not stopping your Electra from hitting into at least 3 vulnerables with her ultimate. Daredevil Modern Fortifier is a non-negotiable. You have to have this ISO or he will die to strikers repeatedly, okay? If you don't have him as a Fortifier, you won't get through the second node of this event, let alone all 8, okay? Silver Sable is a skirmisher. I guess if you want to reset a billion more times for RNG, you could do her as a raider, but skirmisher is definitely going to be the superior ISO selection because of her passive. On successful attack by this character, apply defense down. That does have a resist check. We need those defense downs to keep our snowball going. Of course, it also affects Sable's buff strip, and it also affects her landing her slows and the debuffs she does on her special. Electra, for the first 7 nodes, I actually used her as a raider for this, but I prefer striker. I had to switch her to a striker to be able to get through the Odin. Oh, also, Electra's 1 diamond and Punisher's 3 diamonds. Forgot to mention that. Hidden Monkey is a striker. This is the no-brainer ISO for him. I thought he'd be a raider at first, but that debuff extension that he does on his ISO attack is too good in these long-form game modes where it's not just a 5v5 attack. So definitely prefer him as a striker, at least for these game modes. All right, let's have a kind of an uncomfortable conversation. So that's our team. That is super important. I want to quickly touch on, like, this individual, I think is actually fortunate that they were able to build up that team. If I go into the rest of his roster, you see it's a very undeveloped roster. Especially if I go now, let me go to Thunderbolts. If I go to the Thunderbolts, I don't have them built whatsoever. Level 75, we only have 60 million gold, very, very few training materials. And I noticed a trend, and I think a lot of players are doing this, because I think some content creators that really only play events and they don't play for the gameplay, I think a lot of people are following some, what I would say, faulty advice, okay? There is no world where you should be at 14,000 energy as a mid-game or even an end-game player who doesn't spend. Having 18,000 cores should be an anomaly. This is like an extremely endgame thing if you're keeping up with all characters. The reason for this is because if you go into the Nexus Hard campaign, and I do this on my account every single day, guys. I don't have enough gold or training materials to keep up with characters. Nexus campaign, chapters 1 through 6, node number 9, gold. Training materials, gold. Training materials. You should be farming this every single day. This is how you can actually keep up with leveling every single new team that comes out. It's not just the Nexus Hard, though. There's also Villain Hard. On chapters 7, 6, and 4, but this time it's on node 6. Training materials, that's in the villains. I know most of you guys are going to be farming the training materials, and that makes more sense. You're going to need to farm more training materials than gold because the game just sort of naturally gives you more gold than training materials through events. But if you need more gold, Heroes Hard also has it. Again, chapter 7, this time chapter 5, and chapter 4, on node number 6, you'll see that gold. That's one avenue. Honestly, I core 200 cores every single day to make sure I'm farming. I need gold, so I'm farming gold from those every single time. I level up a lot of stupid things, though. Other avenues that you need to at least indulge the idea of coring is going to be this current Professor X event, which has another 40 days on it. This is actually the most economical way to farm this stuff right now. Gold orbs, you get 100 per node. You can actually farm half a gold orb for 50 cores, right? Because if I were to go for a core on this, it's going to give me 100 energy. That's half a gold orb. You can farm 3 gold orbs or 3 training material orbs from this event every single day with 200 cores. It's that drop in the bucket, okay? I understand. You guys are like, how good is one training orb? That doesn't really change anything. Well, first of all, what I just outlined, you're going to actually be getting about 4 training orbs a day, and that does add up super quick. But it's also by doing it every single day, you will get so much resource. And we haven't gone over all the sources either. You're actually going to be getting about 5 or 6 because you can also do this in the Vigilante. Act 1 or Act 2, Chapter 1, Node 9 is going to be the gold. If we go to Act 2, Chapter 1, Node 9, it'll be training materials, the Silver Sable chapter. Same thing with the Thunderbolt Showcase, which is going to be lasting for another 13 days. In Act 1, Chapter 1, Node 9, gold. In Act 2, Chapter 1, Node 9, training materials. You should be farming this stuff every single day. If you are not keeping up, leveling is the biggest vector that you have for building up your characters. Training materials and gold is an infinite resource that you will need in this game. It is needed for every single character from the beginning of the game till the end of this game's life cycle, okay? Shards, saving up cores so you can unlock a character early is the worst economical way to manage your resources, because eventually you will be able to farm those shards free to play somewhere in the game. You may be jumping a week up, but that's not gonna, it doesn't come close to making up for the gold or the training materials you lost along the way. Trying to do a Hail Mary sort of fortune teller, I'm saving all of my energy so I can beat the Krakens in a leaderboard event, isn't real. Let's just look at this realistically. Homie saved up, he had 18,000 cores earlier today. Like, that's cool. And that could help you on the Odin event, okay? But just be realistic. They do this now. Spending cores gets you 1 point. One spending offer gets you the 18,000. One $20 spending offer. Right now, people are up to 1.4 million. You will not compete with like the super high-end parts here. By saving up these 18,000 cores, maybe if you dump them all during this event on character shards for a character that you would have got for free unlocked a week, maybe 2 weeks later, maybe you can go from like, maybe you can get top 3,500 here instead of top 5,000. Maybe. But you will maybe not have been able to build a vigilante team. And if you can't build a vigilante team, you can't do the event we're about to talk about, which actually also is a huge component of this leaderboard, which if you beat it every single day will actually get you 48,000 milestone points. Now, that not all events are equal in their inputs and outputs like that, right? But at the end of the day, me personally, especially if I'm free to play, I'm not sweating the 7 Red Star Odin Even at the top 5,000. I'm not like, if I don't get this, the game is ruined for me. I'm fine keeping the 4-star Odin. 4-star Odin's great. I faced a 4-star Odin with my 7-star Odin and lost. I faced a 7 red star Odin with somebody else's 4 red star Odin and won. Right? It's not the end all be all. Having more teams built up with your gold and training materials is just so much more important. I just want to drive that home, okay? I'm sorry, we got a little grandstanding there. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the golden rules for this event that you guys picked this video for. The golden rules. Silver Sable is going to ult every single wave. That also includes the opening wave. So the match starts, she does her ultimate. There's going to be one node where this will not be the case. It's going to be node 2. We'll talk about when that happens. You'll see it in the gameplay. Hitmonkey ult is on cooldown. Targets are very important. We want to make sure we're hitting the right targets with the ultimate. But if things haven't lined up because our team is smaller, we still are not going to sit on that ultimate because we want to have that speed up on our team to maintain the snowball. You want to always be hitting the vulnerables. Hitting the vulnerables with the Vigilante team in this event is going to give you speed bar. Uber important to make sure you maintain that snowball. We want to remove any enemies that apply vulnerables to us. That'll be your skirmishers and your raiders. If you don't get rid of them, your Daredevil, he's not always going to have infinite turns. He won't be able to keep up with clearing those vulnerables, or maybe your other allies will end up getting it and they may not have a tank, a taunt, protecting them at some point, and a striker character will yeet them off the field. It doesn't matter if you have a 3-star Daredevil. It doesn't matter if you have a 7 red star Daredevil. A striker hit here is a death sentence, okay? And then we'll go control the strikers as much as we can. So not only do we want to remove the enemies that apply vulnerables, we want to take those strikers out of the field as well. And the ISOs are important. I showed you the ISOs I recommend. Those ISOs are just, it's so important for Silver Sable to land her defense downs and her slows and her buff strips. And it's so important for Daredevil to clear his vulnerables or this is going to be horrible for you, okay? All right, we're going to get into the gameplay now. Before every note, I'm going to give you kind of like a too long, didn't watch, although you should watch this if you're going to do this for 14 days straight. A couple of hot tips, okay? Node 1, very simply put, take out the North Star. Raid rules are active in this game mode. He stops the speed bar we get for hitting the vulnerables. Remove him from the equation. Focus on North Star so you get the speed bar. Oh, are raid rules active here? Oh, that's going to change the approach for a lot of people. If North Star is stopping our speed bar gain. Oh, that's big. I didn't know that, Kevin. Well, that does change things. Maybe I will go for the North Star over the Green Goblin then. Let's try that. Well, he already did his ability, so there's no reason to go for him now. Let's go over here. We'll stun this guy so we don't gain trauma. Alright, we'll go for the North Star next. The assist from Punisher is big. We'll take him out. Oh, is that why we're not getting speed bar? Interesting. Oh, maybe that's why people are struggling here. Because rated rules being active. I thought it was just like in the Professor X thing where Vigilante like got a straight call out where they get all their stuff. Anyway, we're still on the right track. We're now heading to the vulnerables, which is going to give us a speed advantage. Let's keep that going. Daredevil is going to give us our buff flip here in a little bit. As long as we don't die to a striker attack here, which is possible. You know, we should see who are the striker characters on the enemy team. Ooh, the Shang-Chi's probably a dead Daredevil here then. He only had one vulnerable, so we're good. Let's just keep hitting into these vulnerables then. Let's get a good cleanse going. We had trauma, so we're not getting it. The Sasquatch just gave us trauma. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, let's just keep hitting to the vulnerables then. We can steal all this stuff. That'll be helpful. That's another thing I think people are not aware enough is that the Punisher special will steal all those buffs. So you saw I stole speed up from a lot of people here. I saw a lot of good stuff. Alright, this will do a nice little extension over here on these Nimrods. They are our main kill focus here. Oh, we extended that Goblin. Just happened to go over and hit him. That's fine. The big hit from the Nimrod. There's our basic. We all have trauma, so he's not going to be clearing anything anyway. Let's go for the kills here. We'd like to get our energy going. Gonna be a long video. It's gonna be a long video. Make sure you use those timestamps. Alright, we could get a buff flip going here. Sure, let's do that. Get the Punisher assist called in is great. I'm already missing Striker and Elektra, but that's okay. Alright, let's hit up here. Punisher has joined the enemy team. Game is struggling right now because Punisher, I think. Alright, he's back. I do not have the T4 in Elektra's ultimate, so I'm not necessarily worried about hunting for perma-kills with her. Or not perma-kills. I'm not necessarily hunting for kills with her ultimate. I just want to get as much damage from it as possible. This node took so long we lost the music. There you go. And again, guys, Elektra is going to give us all of our abilities back every single node. We do not need to hold off on cooldowns at all. At all, at all, at all. Full send it. Get your kills. Get yourself healed up as much as possible so that we go into every node ready to go. Boom. There's node number 1. All right, guys. Node number 2 is going to be the hardest, if not the second hardest node in the game mode. When I first did this run with this account, it took me 2 hours. An hour and a half of that was with nodes 2 and 3. Let's get this down to a science. Let's limit this so even with a smaller account, we can get through this at like 45 minutes tops, okay? And we really want to finesse node 2 to be able to accomplish that. Evenly kill wave 1, as you'll see I'm going to do. If you are able to take out like 5 enemies from wave 1 at the exact same time, you'll drop both waves 2 and 3 in at the same time, which means you can then Silver Sable ultimate, strip everybody, stun both Thanos endgames, go and take those gladiators out. Because if the gladiators are above 50% life and there's 3 annihilators, no more vulnerables for you, no more speed bar, bad news bears, okay? If you can't do that, this is where we break the golden rule. If I can only drop in 1 endgame Thanos, do not use your Silver Sable ultimate. Instead, use her special, get a stun on the endgame Thanos, because there's no pre-taunts that drop in with that. So your hit monkey will still be able to stun the endgame Thanos, then start taking some people out, and then on her next attack, you're going to be able to do that ultimate. Get those gladiators off their pre-taunt, get all the buffs off the enemy field, but then one of the Thanoses will not be stunned. So if we can stun both endgame Thanos, go for that. But if you need to finesse play it the way you're going to see me do it here, c'est la vie. That's the way it goes. Unfortunately, there is no other way to put it. This node is either bugged or these Thanos have a percentage chance to do their passive. Because there's no rhyme or reason. People are still trying to figure this out. If you stun trauma the endgame Thanos, there's still a chance they're going to do their passive. We saw it on stream today. Sometimes no Thanos will do their passive. Sometimes both Thanos will do their passive. Sometimes if Thanos is stunned, it feels like he doesn't do it. Sometimes if he's not stunned, he still doesn't do his passive. Deal with the RNG of this node. It's garbage. And once we get through this, it's all kind of reasonable as far as like the logics of how enemies are working after that. So good luck on node 2, guys. All right, this is node 2. This is the hardest node in the mode, I'd say. This is what people are telling me, and experiencing it for about, I don't know, 25 minutes now, I'd have to agree, especially on the smaller account. So the problem we're running into is the Thanos at the end. Now, there are some strategies to get to the Thanoses as cleanly as possible, but there still seems to be just some awfulness to this run. The Thanoses aren't always doing their passives. I've done it in the past, and if they were stun traumaed, they didn't do their passives. They've now proven me wrong. They just did the passive to me, and it actually made me lose the attempt because I lost my Hitmonkey speed up. The formula is still the same. The formula for all of these nodes is Sable's going to clear all the nonsense buffs off start. We'll get speed up from our Hitmonkey. We're going to hit into as many vulnerables as possible, and we want to kill the waves evenly. And by killing the waves evenly, we go from wave to wave with Silver Sable and Hitmonkey ultimates available, which allows us to clear their buffs, get offense up and speed up, and try and maintain this sort of snowball momentum. The reason this node is the toughest is because on this node, the endgame Thanoses and the Gladiators will take your buffs away. Also, if there's 3 Annihilators on the field at any time, they will say, no, you don't get to use vulnerables to your advantage. You're no longer going to get that speed bar, and that could make this incredibly tough. And that is making this incredibly tough. Now, we don't have the same amount of heals for this negative zone as we do for others. So we want to one-shot these nodes. I'm not going to accept a not one-shot here. Let's go ahead and do the special. I probably should avoid doing specials. It calls in Punisher Assist, and I don't want this Kang to die just yet. Okay. So we're going to avoid doing specials. Best case scenario, I have 3 enemies remaining. It's not really going to be possible here. I'll tell you what, let's go for the kill on these 2. And then Elektra can kill this one, and then we have 3 enemies remaining. Good stuff. I could use my ultimate right now, and I kind of have to because of this. I kind of have to because of that Gladiator going above 50% life. I will stun trauma this endgame Thanos. And now again, I want to kill as evenly as possible. If I kill too many, 2 Gladiators are going to pop in, and I no longer have the Silver Sable ultimate to fall back on. So let's try and kill as evenly as possible, knowing that these 2 are kind of on death's door right now. We'll special right here. I want to push this Thanos to see if he does his passive to me. That was not a passive hit from Punisher. That was not a retaliate. That was a straight attack from Elektra. And the Thanos did not do his passive. It is just straight RNG on if these Thanoses use their passive or not. I'm not a huge super fan of that, let me tell you. I don't really want this guy to do too much to me here, because if he does his special, that's going to suck. Alright, let's continue going here. They're all looking pretty good. I do have offense up. This could be a full send moment. I think it is a full send moment. Let's see if we can get our Silver Sable to have her ultimate again. Lizard's dead. Is he dead? He's dead. We should have all of our stuff back up. This is great. They do have 3 immunities, so we can't take care of them in that regard. But I will stun trauma this Thanos. Okay. I'll use this special. Actually, they all have speed up. Let's just use the ultimate, because that'll get rid of that slow. I'll use the ult here, because I do want to do as much damage as possible. We got them below 50%, which means that the vulnerables are now in play. Just in case the Thanos does do his passive, I'm actually going to take out these Gladiators first. Hit Monkey is ready to go. Vulnerable hit is good. Do the special here. I guess I could, you know what? I should have extended this with my Hit Monkey. We'll survive, though. Let's try and push him. Let's see. Does the stun trauma stop him this time? It didn't. The death debuff will, though. I don't know what to tell you guys. This does seem to be just straight RNG with these endgame Thanoses. This is the toughest node. This is the node you spend the most amount of time on if you have a smaller account. You get through this one, it's smooth sailing from there. And we did get through it with this, with these ISOs. You're going to want to play it exactly like I said. Want to make sure we're killing the waves as evenly as possible, entering every wave with Silver Sable ultimate ready to go, Hidden Monkey ultimate ready to go. We want to dance around those Thanoses. You saw how I left that Thanos to the very end just in case his passive did go off. I need to keep my Hit Monkey speed up that he gives my team, and I need to make sure I'm getting those Gladiators down so that I could benefit from vulnerables, the speed that we get from vulnerables. It's a tight dance. It may not be worth it, but if you want to compete in this Odin leaderboard, this is going to be 14,000. 14,000 of these guys right here that you're going to get from node rewards over the 2 weeks, which is the equivalent of 28,000 milestone points. It's up to you, though. I'm just here to help guide you to do it if you want. If node number 2 is the hardest node to finesse, node number 3 is the hardest sort of build check. Like, how big are your characters? But we have a way where we can kind of limit the amount of size we're going to need here. Because I did get through it with this account, and once I sort of planned out my kill order better, this node was a lot easier. So, we start with the Silver Sable Ultimate. We stun the Ancient One. We then nuke the Medusa. She is going to be a source of vulnerables that could lead to those Miss Marvels killing you at the worst time possible, okay? Happened to me many times. So we're going to take out the Medusa, then we're going to go back over to the Black Knight, and then when that second wave drops in, you need to have Silver Sable's ultimate ready, and Hitmonkey's ultimate ready at this exact point. Stun that Super Skrull. If he gets an exposed zone on you, it's just really bad. Take the Super Skrull out, and this whole match is basically just focus down the Super Skrull. Don't let yourself get ISO attacked, and you're going to win. All right? It's not so bad. Check out the footage here. But once we're done nodes 2 and nodes 3, if you're frustrated at this point, just know nodes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, easy money. Easy money. These 2 nodes are the only hard parts of this event. She would have put the vulnerable? She's a raider. That bitch. All right, here we go. Defense down landed on neither of them. Excellent. Let's do this anyway. Big damage, big damage. You know what? Let's just take out the people that can put vulnerables up then. How about that? Yeah, how about that backstab Medusa? You dick. I can put a slow. Is this 2 turns of slow? It is. Let's try and get 2 turns slow. Oh, she resisted it. That's fun. Okay. It's okay. Why did this Black Knight basic? Why did this guy basic and not special?
Because he basic.
Why did he basic?
Because he is basic.
I'm so confused, Scotty. Your sass is not helping here. Why did the Black Knight not act normally?
You just be like, she basic. When they're like basic, they're a basic ass bitch.
Well, clearly, I still don't understand the why though. He had ability block from who? Who did he have ability block from? He's not even a support. How would he have gotten ability block? Alright, get you out of here. Get out of here. Alright, we gotta get rid of this Black Knight, because if he hits us with his ultimate, he's gonna kill the Electra. He's gonna perma-kill her, and then we're gonna have to reset this. Alright, let's get him with the slow. And the assist from Punisher. Our Silver Sable will be ready when the next wave drops to go hard skis. So this is looking pretty good so far. I actually do want to extend these debuffs over here. I don't want to have to deal with 2 Miss Marvel Classics taunting. That's good. So far, so good. Let's try and get as many kills as possible. Alright, that will summon in the next wave, or not. Striker Raider, Fortifier. Let's do it over here. So that's good damage on the Miss Marvel Classic. I mean, he's gonna die to the bleeds, but I guess we can just make sure he only does 1 attack, I suppose. Okay. Now, Silver Sable's gonna go. She will have her ultimate ready to go. We successfully took out any of the characters that could have put vulnerables on us. We got rid of all the taunts. Hitmonkey's gonna go next. Hitmonkey stuns the Super Skrull, and away we go. Okay, we still want to make sure that we're taking care of these Miss Marvels as quickly as possible. Let's steal the offense up from that Absorbing Man. It feels like some of the characters that they put on these nodes are actually meant for you to steal the buffs from to help you. Especially anything that has dodge. Alright, let's get a slow on this Super Skrull. He is our main target. As soon as he dies, we're good. Let's see. Yeah, let's put this slow over here. So far, so good. Let's get the extension on Super Skrull. So Super Skrull has been officially manhandled. And let's go for the kills on the Miss Marvel Classics first. First and foremost. Alright, another backstab for her. This time she's gone. Alright, a slow over here. Silver Sable can use this willy-nilly now. Yeah, we can stun here now. And away we go. Alright, so we did it. Listen, this was not super fun. This was a lot of resetting. When we decided to go for the Medusa there, it definitely helped make this feel a whole lot better. So we take out Okay. The problem becomes more and more clear after every attack, unfortunately. The rule of this mode is don't die to strikers. Make sure your cooldowns are set up from wave to wave to wave. Make sure you can hit into vulnerables, and make sure you're keeping your hit monkey speed up and offense up as much as you can while hitting the right characters with it. There is definitely an equation here for the maximum success, and we're definitely finding, or fine-tune coding it, whatever that saying is. I'm dead after this node. The best way to do that with as little RNG as possible. This was not super fun. This node was not super fun with this low team, for sure. For sure it wasn't. All right, guys, node number 4 is so much more in our control than nodes 2 and 3 were. It's a breath of fresh air. We need to control and kill the Raiders. So there's going to be the Falcons, the Oath, the Peggy Carter. Once Silver Sable removes everybody's taunt, go stun it. Go stun a Falcon. I think it stuns the other Falcon, and then just, you're not going to get vulnerables. You don't even need to have Fortifier on Daredevil Modern this way. You should still keep it. But you don't even need it once we control those 2 characters, okay? If anybody, and I mean anybody on your team gets 2 vulnerables, just back out. Because when the Kahoris come in, they're going to each take a bunch of turns. 2 turns each, I believe, plus their passives, right? If they hit into an allied character that has 2 vulnerables, they die. So there's no point in it. That's why we need to control or kill the Raiders on that first wave immediately. Target one of the new enemy Kahoris with your Hit Monkey stun that you would have built back up from the first wave usage. It's also going to stun the Omega Red Phoenix Force. That's perfectly fine because he'll wreck you, okay? Whatever Kahori you don't stun, you kill. So stun one, kill the other. Make sure you're using your Daredevil Modern Special to get slows out there. Your Silver Sable Special to get slows out there. It's actually not that bad once we just limit the amount of vulnerables that can land on us. All right? For this node, if Electra has her passive T forward, make sure you're leaving this node with all your cooldowns available. Otherwise, like, you never have to do this because Electra gives you 6 energy on spawn. But in this next node, if Electra does have her passive T forward, we'd like to sub her out. All right, let's get over to node number 5. Okay, node number 4. This is where it should start getting easier. Let's go. This is where it should start getting easier. So that node, was that node 2 and node 3? Those seemed to be the toughest mechanically. Although, let's see what the other nodes look like with a smaller team, right? Let's see what they look like with a smaller team. No, actually, I do. Okay, here's what I say about this game that I think a lot of people disagree with. I do feel very accomplished after beating that. Was there some, bullshit, nonsense RNG on it? Sure. I still feel accomplished. I still had fun. Believe it or not. All right, let's use the special over here. That's going to flip the slow. And now let's go ahead and strip all their buffs off. And this node in particular is one where you got to be very, very careful when it comes to Raiders. And, okay, so we didn't get it off the Lizard in time, unfortunately. We got to be careful of the Raiders here. I think both Falcons are Raiders. We'll just use the special since we don't have the T4 in the ultimate. We wouldn't have gotten extra attack up anyway. I believe both Falcons are Raiders, so the fact that I didn't get to stun both of them could be a problem. Looks like we didn't fall victim to it, so that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Oath is a striker and would have killed me. Oh no, Oath is a Raider. Interesting. Okay, so he's also a Raider, so that's good. So striker here. So it's really just that guy we're going to be worried about. Okay, interesting. Here we go. We'll special here. Hitting into as many vulnerables as we can, because we just need to make sure our Daredevil goes before the Hercules goes. And that's going to let our Fortifier clear that. And now we don't have to worry about his striker ass killing us in one shot. So let's continue down on these Raiders. Yeah, this is the node that has the Kahoris drop in, so we just want to make sure nobody has 2 vulnerables. That might be an auto reset if you do have 2 vulnerables. Unfortunately. There goes one Falcon. Hercules does that. Certainly hits hard, that's for sure. So nobody has 2 vulnerables. But if they tunnel the same character over and over again, that might be just as bad. They're taking way more turns than they have in the past. But that's okay. So now we have this going for us, which means Hitmonkey should have his available as well. All right, so we're going to stun the Kahoris. One of them is going to go over to the Greg, though, or Fred. So it means we have to kill the other Kahori. All right, this is a flip. Because we don't have the T4, it's only going to flip one, though. That's still okay. Let's get it going. We'll make sure, again, we're not getting these Raiders to hit us, but we're also not letting the Strikers kind of set up shop. Let's see. Slow, 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 slow. No slow, no slow. No slow on her either. If this Kahori reaches her special, we die. Yeah. Let's try and get a defense down on her. Nice. We landed the defense down. That's huge. We can extend. Ooh, I don't like that people aren't dying. Let's extend on this Kahori, and we're gonna try and kill this 3 group right here. Ooh, can we land this slow? We could not land this slow. We're getting resisted to death, unfortunately. And once again, we're definitely feeling the sting of the smaller team, because I would have had these guys killed by now with my team for sure. So we're definitely seeing the difference. So you're not if you think that there's a difference between a light spender and a super free-to-play vigilante team, you're not wrong. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. All right, here we go. Okay, let's do as much damage here as we can. All right, we got rid of not all the Strikers, but enough of them. Sorry, not all the Raiders, but enough of them. There goes that Kahori. No T4, so we don't get that. Only 4 characters left, so we can go ahead and ult here. And that's the key. And there is strategy here, guys. And the strategy is do not let the Raiders load you up with vulnerables. And if they do, just reset. Because the Kahoris as Strikers will come in and kill you. If you only have 1 vulnerable, that's fine. If you have 2 vulnerables, oof. Big oofers. Also, this Omega Red will heal through this, so he's actually super problematic. Might need to end him with a Hitmonkey stun again. There we go. Nailed it. All right, there you go. See? The nodes get easier. All right, node number 5 is an absolute joke if you don't have Electra T forward, okay? If you don't have Electra T forward, go in here with the full Vigilante team. I believe the Miss Marvels go before you. Old Man Logan will take his first turn before you, and then you just kill everybody. And that's it. If those Dawkins aren't getting the speed bar from your Electra spawning with stealth, it's just, you just win. If Electra does have her passive T forward, you can sub her out for Taskmaster if all your cooldowns are available. Okay, especially the Hitmonkey, Silver Sable, and Punisher ultimates. If those 3 ultimates are available, you should be able to get through that that Old Man Logan and thus the rest of the node by subbing out Electra for Taskmaster. If your cooldowns are not available and your Electra has her passive T forward, you're not screwed. You're just going to need to reset this until you get good RNG on a smaller account. If you have a bigger account, it doesn't matter. You're just going to be able to break through it, okay? So this is kind of a pain in the butt node, but there's ways to get around it. Especially if you've been watching all the tips in order, then you would have known if that Electra has her passive T forward, you leave that node forward with your cooldowns up. Here we go. If Electra doesn't have her T4, she won't stealthily go before them. Is that true? Doesn't Electra always spawn in with stealth? Oh my god, she doesn't. She doesn't. Oh my god. So not having the Electra passive T4 makes this infinitely easier. That's kind of hilarious. Oh no, that's kind of hilarious. All right, he doesn't even get a turn. Oh my god. All right, another one of those instances where having a T4 is actually worse than not having it. Ah, you gotta love it. What a funny game we play. What a funny game.
I actually don't have her T4 passive on my smaller account, and I didn't realize that's why this node was so easy.
Yeah, this node is free like this. I'll take it. Hey, we'll take it. We still got more people coming in, so I'll just do the special here. Oh, it's this. Okay, no charges is interesting. Let's go for the slow on her. Good stuff. Let's just special here. All right, this will get rid of charges. Well, I guess it won't. He resisted it, right? Because he's got like a bazillion resistance because of that. Monkey's gonna give us offense up. Let's just ult where we can hopefully get the kills. Is that gonna be a permakill on Electra? No, wow. Wow, that Nova did 0 damage into defense down. What was that? Whoops. Sorry, I'll try not to play with my fidget toy anymore. This is where they just do 0 damage. All right. Yep. Easy peasy. Okay. Node number 6 was super easy. I love this node. So either don't kill too fast, which means we're going to make sure Silver Sable and Hitmonkey take their second turn before we take out 3 enemies, or kill extremely fast, but still have at least 1 enemy alive after Electra is done doing her last attack. What does this mean? If I take out 5 of the enemies in this opening wave right away, that's fine. So long as after Electra is done doing her whatever she's doing, that's when the next wave spawns in. Basically, I want that wave to spawn in as Silver Sable is getting her second turn. She will have immediately gotten her ultimate back up because the enemies on this node are so squishy, like Archangels. Come on, what are we doing here? And then she can immediately pull the charges off those Black Knights again, and you're ready to go. Okay, watch how I do it in this the gameplay footage, but just know after watching the footage back, this is what I realized. Okay, kill 5 enemies as quickly as possible, but make sure there's still at least 1 enemy alive after Electra is done doing her action. Okay, all right. Okie dokie, Artichoke, mission 6. We've actually had to do this mission a couple times. I could have beaten this mission on multiple of our hits so far, but we're trying to analyze the cleanest way to get through this so that you're not getting double retaliated by the Black Knights. And the way to do that, seemingly, is that as soon as 3 people die, the 2 Black Knights and the 2 Weavers spawn in. When that happens, we don't want them to come in until it's either Silver Sable's turn and she has this ultimate back up, which means we would have needed to kill 5 people, or it's Hitmonkey's turn and we killed 5 people. So that's kind of our goal here. I do like to stun the Apocalypse. And then I have been hitting over here, but it seems to be doing too much damage. So we're going to hit over here into these Daredevils now instead. And I will ult. This will take out one of the Black Knights. The rest are still living good. That's good. I'll use a special on this Black Knight so that he dies as well. They'll take turns, but they won't bleed out. That's because we didn't hit them with the Daredevil ultimate. If we push it too fast, we're just going to get overwhelmed by the second wave, is essentially what I'm saying. This is not good. The reason this is not good is that if I do one more attack, it's going to... If I hit into a vulnerable, it's going to get speed bar. Hitmonkey is going to lap. He's gonna have more speed bar than the enemy will. So here's what I can do. Let's just use basic here. He's going to get speed bar, so he's going to have over 100%. And now the next wave is going to spawn in. It's going to be Electra's turn. No, not yet. Okay, so you need to kill 4 people for them to spawn in. So as long as we don't kill 4 people before it's Silver Sable's turn, we're good. But Punisher for sure kills people here. But maybe this is going to put Electra over the 100% speed bar. It did. Excellent. Excellent! Okay. Well, now we can just go for it. Silver Sable will be the next person to go. Or it'll be Hitmonkey. Either way, it's fine. Because Hitmonkey will have his ultimate. And as you're going to see, they don't spawn in. Okay, well, here you go. Silver Sable. They don't spawn in with defense up. So Hitmonkey could have stunned them. But even better, Silver Sable will pull their charges off. I can now go ahead and stun the 2 Weavers. And we can take out these Black Knights before they get the retaliations back up. There we go. Play it slow. So that you're either going to have Sable ultimate ready when they drop in and it's her turn, as you saw me do here. I did the opposite. I actually played it super fast. So I played into the fact that if your characters have over 100% turn bar, the next wave will not spawn in. That's what I did. Or, I mean, listen, if you have a big enough characters, they're not going to die to the double Black Knights. And maybe I just did this for like a super niche minority of players. But that's how I would play it, okay? Take those Black Knights out, get everybody else super low. When you have Silver Sable's second turn, if you're in a position like you saw me in, try not to kill people. Use basics. Use your single target attacks. Don't use specials, because that's going to call Punisher Assistant, right? And just keep it so that your speed bar is all the way maxed out, and right before Sable takes her next turn, which is after Elektra's second turn, that's when you want to push the fourth enemy kill. There you go. Node number 7 is actually also very easy. I mean, the enemies are tankier than node number 6, but it's not bad. Stun the Medusas, nuke the Shadow King, follow the golden rules. As simple as that. Then we get onto the boss node. All right, node number 7. This is the Shadow King node. We also have some Medusas in here that are very scary. This node, I'm curious about, actually, because this node is one of the easiest nodes on my account, but there are scary characters on here that if they take turns, it's bad. Yeah, there's very scary characters on here that if they take turns, it's really bad. So let's see how this goes. All right, so let's get all that stuff off of them. No trauma on the Shadow King, so remember that. You also can't stun him. We're going to stun the 2 Medusas, and then we're going to full send it into the Shadow King. All right, Daredevil Special will get a slow on him, which is really nice. The assists go on him as well, because Daredevil Special actually smashes. Punisher with a big hit. Also lots of vulnerables for Elektra's next attack. Her ult comes in. Shadow King probably dies to those bleeds, maybe? He will take a turn here. We're going to find out in a second. We have 1 vulnerable. We don't love that. Let me see the situation here. Are those Beta Ray Bills Raiders? They're Raiders, and he's a Striker. So if we had 2 vulnerables here, this is death. If we have 2 vulnerables there, that's death, guys. So keep that in mind. Yeah, let's send it over here, because this Medusa that we targeted got her stun extended. This one didn't. So this Medusa here is now our kill target. We landed a good slow on her, plus we extended the other one. Fantastic. And let's get on this Medusa as quickly as we possibly can. We've now killed 2 people, which means we need to kill, what, 3 more. -1 every single time Silver Sable takes a turn. We've now killed 3. Okay, Silver Sable's not ready for this yet, which is unfortunate. Oh no, Silver Sable already took 1 turn. Yeah, so we're 1 turn off for Silver Sable to be ready for this. Alright, let's try and get a defense down on Greg, or Fred. We did it. Fantastic. He's also not ready. Man, if I had gotten a kill there, it would have been better. Let's extend. Make sure you're hitting the vulnerables. That way we're getting the speed bar. I'll Punisher Special here, because it's going to steal all these dodges from me. That's going to be very helpful. We love that. You see, I'm actively avoiding the Medusa now. The reason I'm avoiding the Medusa now is I already know that these 2 are ready for their abilities, and I know they're going before her. So when I get to use their abilities, we're going to get to do that extra... We'll get extra energy for them kind of having survived this long. All right, here we go. All your buffs are mine. That's going to let Hitmonkey go. Let's definitely stun the Fred here. That's probably going to stun a Medusa as well. It stunned the one that was already stunned. That kind of stings. But that's okay. We'll go for the Rogue next. 5 vulnerables, so Elektra will smash really hard on here. There we go. Another Rogue pops in, and see, that's why I saved the Medusa. So Medusa did give my Silver Sable extra energy, and that puts my Silver Sable at a good position where next turn she's going to be able to do her ultimate, which will effectively take care of this Rogue. Let's make sure we kill this one. We can't flip anything here, nor can he get any buffs, so let's just go for kills. This does give my team defense up, at least. Actually, we're doing really good here. I'll grab more immunity, I guess. Let's go for the target that's defense down. Yeah, this node is not a problem. That's good that this node is not a problem. Hitmonkey will also have his ult ready, so he'll take care of the rogue, and from here is just autoplay.
Who followed you to Whispers? Stoned? Someone from here?
I think they had a disagreement in chat. Guys, I don't want to know about your I don't know about any sort of drama between chatters. Let me just say this.
No one's like harassing anyone else from here.
Yeah. They're having a disagreement about what can and cannot be asked about in chat. Guys, when I'm streaming Marvel Strike Force, you can ask me any Marvel Strike Force question. When me and Scotty are streaming Repo, you can ask me any Marvel Strike Force question. You can ask me any question you want at any time in chat, and let's all keep it civil and let's all keep it chill. Congratulations, you made it all the way to node number 8. You're gonna have to do this 14 more times. This is gonna be not nearly as bad as nodes 2 or 3, but there are gonna be some resets here. Reset until Silver Sable lands the defense down on the Odin. Having her as a skirmisher makes this happen about 50% of the time, so it's not the end of the world. But if Odin doesn't get defense down, you give a smaller team, you're not going to kill him. If he does his special, the node's over. So just accept that, okay? We're going to kill Odin before he takes a turn, or we're going to keep resetting. We want to stun Blade with Hitmonkey. The other Hitmonkey attack will go over to the Odin, so he is going to get damage. He's also going to have Disrupt from when Sable did her ultimate, so it's not like he's going to get speed up. But we want to make sure we're stunning the Blade. We are going to hold the Electra ult until it is her second turn. Electra's ult gains damage per negative effect on Odin, so we want to load him up with bleeds from Electra's basic, from Punisher's ultimate, from Hitmonkey's basic, from Silver Sable special, from Daredevil special. We want to load him up. My level 100 Electra took out Odin from just above 50% life to dead. I thought that was crazy, okay? And then we're going to deal with the vulnerable sources. The only sources of vulnerable in this enemy matchup are going to be I believe it's the Green Goblin Classic and the Dormammu. This particular node, you could make your Daredevil a Striker or a Raider to get extra damage if that's what you need to do for that final bump to get past the Odin. All right, guys, we're going to have to do this 14 times if you want to get the 14 orbs to open, which have year 220 and will help you on the Odin leaderboard. If you're taking this journey with me, awesome. I'm going to be doing it every single day. On stream, I will be redoing this run with this smaller account because I want to prove that with the knowledge we earned from nodes 2 and 3, I can get this down to about a 45-minute endeavor with a team like this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Here we go. How many T4s? I mean, the essential T4s are on here. We don't have electric T4s at all. We have none of the basics. This is where free-to-play fails? I don't know if free-to-play is going to fail here. We got that Odin super close. By switching up some of the ISOs, I think this is still very possible. We got the defense down to land. That's fantastic. We did target him to make sure he got the extras. Let's go ahead and we'll stun this Blade because y'all were saying that was going to be a problem. Okay. And now we're going to full send it into this Odin. And if we see that we still have a lack of damage on this attempt, then we will switch off Daredevil to be probably a Raider. So this does gains... Okay. Deals double damage. Why do I want to wait for more debuffs here? Oh, in raids, gain 25% per negative hit. Okay. So it's not about vulnerable, it's about negative effects. Okay, so special would call a attacking, but it wouldn't add bleeds. This is going to add 2 bleeds. I'll do the basic here. Because Punisher wouldn't have done too much extra there. All right, let's get extra debuffs. Good stuff. We did land the slow on him. That's good. Extension or bleeds here? This doesn't apply bleeds. Let's just apply more bleeds. Okay, now we'll ult here. How hard can a level 100... How hard can a level 100 Electra really hit? I don't think she's about to do 50% of Blade's life, Odin's life here. There's no way this works. Starting character? Not even close. Not even remotely close to... Don't talk shit on Electra's name, I guess. Don't talk shit on Electra's name, I guess. Opening villain character, killing the mythical character of last year. Let's freaking go, dude. That's what I'm here for, man. All right, let's try and get a... I'm gonna try and get a slow on this one. I resisted it, of course. That's okay. All right, hopefully this will kill the blade. I'm trying to... You know what? Maybe I should have slow played that. I'm trying to see if we can't get Silver Sable to have her ultimate ready to go. But I think that they spawn in now. Oh, they don't. Do I do this or do I wait? I'm going to wait. Let's try and wait on this. We will use Hitmonkey ultimate, but we're going to wait on Silver Sable. These Havocs are not doing anywhere near the sort of damage that the Fallen Dimension ones did. Let's go ahead and ult. Hopefully we can get these Havocs gone. Not really. I don't want to ult with her just yet. I don't want to do that, Sam I am. I will not do that for green eggs and ham. Let's get our taunt up. Can't stun Man-Thing? Well, learn something new every day. Normally you just strip him and move on, so it makes sense. Let's steal this buffs that he had, the defense up. Well, how many debuffs does this Man-Thing have now? Quite a bit. Good job, Electra. I still don't want to do that just yet. Okay, we have enough vulnerables that I think we would get our Silver Sable to coast back up to be able to ult when this Dormammu drops in, which should be right now. Not quite yet, eh? Can I land a slow on him now? Nah, resisted. Okay. Let's try and get the kill here if we can. Alright, yeah, Silver Sable's definitely going here. Excellent. Say goodbye to your buffs. Let's go for the kill on Havoc here. I don't like this Miss Marvel Classic staring at me either, to be honest with you. Dormammu's a skirmisher. Dormammu is a skirmisher. He's going to put a vulnerable, and there's so many strikers that's going to get my Daredevil killed. I need to get energy ASAP. We have no source of energy right now. Oh, no. Come on, Punisher. Get a kill here, buddy. Oh, he's going for the man. Okay, Striker Attack did a good job. Dormammu hasn't gone yet. Dormammu does have ability block, though, which is going to give him 85% turn bar. So we need to land this slow on him. We didn't land the slow on him. Can I land the stun trauma on him? We landed the stun trauma. So there's no vulnerables. We're perfectly fine. And we'll coast through to the end here. This does double damage, lots of debuffs. Goodbye, Captain Britain. And now let's get on to this Dormammu. I was like, he doesn't look stunned, but he is stunned. Okay. It's a raid passive for Man-Thing. He can't be stunned. All right, excellent. We get rid of the vulnerable guy. And now we're kind of just good to go. We're kind of just good now. Alright, let's take these buffs off yet again. Give the heal block trauma so that the Hank Pym passive can go away. Hitmonkey stops the revive passive, so we're not worried about that. I'll just go here. Goodbye, Hank. Let's see if we can land the slow here. Nice. Alright, we won. There you go. We figured it out. We figured it out with a sub 5 million team. People are still going to cry that's too big, but listen, this is the only account I can get my hands on. Is this possible? Yes. How long did this take me? I think we might have been here for 2 hours. I would not do this 14 times. I don't think I would do this 14 times, but it's not impossible. So Scopely. Events like this should be one and done. I think events like this should be one and done. Give me 7 days to beat this. Make it hard and interesting. Still possible for smaller accounts. And make it a 7-day event and have it be a 7-day cooldown timer when you're done. Yeah. Anyway, it's possible. I don't know if this video will go out because people will just hate on it anyway, but whatever. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.